Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 41 of Cork in the North podcast. You're thinking to yourself, that's a different introductory voice that we're hearing. That's right, because I'm hosting it for a change. Me, the one and only viral sensation on TikTok, Aaron Butler. That's how big I've got now. I've taken over this whole thing, just like the English took over our country.
Aaron.
Sorry, we don't have to make any edits. But I would like to introduce my guest for the day. As always, we're joined by the one and only Andrew Ryan.
Hello.
And with him, we are joined by producer Seán.
Hello.
Hey, look at that. Seán, what's that football top?
It's Scotland 96 away shirt.
Wow.
Is that the year you were born?
Yeah.
And he was born
You were
away.
born in 1996?
Yeah.
In
You,
Scotland.
your parents conceive in Scotland?
No,
Okay.
it's just
Fair.
Can I just say, I'm just so happy to be on this podcast.
Oh, it's great to have you.
so good
We've been
to
trying
find
for so
been a
long to
long
get
process.
you. Yeah. It's been a real long
Well,
play.
eventually able to come on my
Yeah.
own podcast as a guest. I just want to experience it from the other side.
Yeah.
audio listeners must be thinking, God, Andrew's voice is really like.
Yeah, it's very much to the left today.
He's really picked up the Belfast accent.
He's really integrated in the communities here in the north, hasn't he? Yeah. So it's nice to be a guest on them. I like what you've done with us. It cost a few quid.
Yeah, you know, I put a lot of money into this. This doesn't even work, but it's fine. You know what I mean? It's all fine. So it is. Why have you got the glasses around the?
Oh, sorry, I'll take them.
No. I just thought you were trying to like portray some sort of like, you know, I'm a smart guy type thing. I don't know.
No, I just I woke up this morning and I actually had a Zoom call.
Oh, I had one of those too.
And they were quite professional people.
So you put glasses on for it?
Put my glasses on the Zoom. So I sometimes wear glasses when I'm on the laptop.
So you're like your vision when you're close is bad.
Well, it's kind like it's fine, but like I've noticed that like I've got a couple of pairs of glasses at home and I just wear, you know, I wear them. Some days I wear them and sometimes I don't. But I've kind of noticed that I should really be wearing them a bit more. I can when I'm watching TV. Especially because I've quite a long sitting room. I can see,
show off.
When I say long sitting room, like the TV's in the corner and I'm just the sofa. All right, Aaron.
I went the other way. I've tried to like stop wearing my glasses as much.
Right.
And that was a nightmare on Sunday playing fucking five-a-side because somebody goes jump in that, Sean. And I didn't have contacts in, didn't have glasses.
Did you even know where the nets were?
I knew where the nets were, but I couldn't fucking tell whether the ball was coming closer to me or further away.
He was underneath a basketball hoop. Just
veering away from the net.
It's like, lads.
I was going like, this is okay. No, it's not okay. Somebody swap over with me. They were the other fucking end of the pitch.
See, I need to get like sports glasses or something. You know the ones where
Andrew
remember I need something like those because I don't like contacts. I don't play. They can't hear that in the audio podcast. There's a cops police siren.
There's
literally
actually
right
quite a lot
building.
of police outside.
Really?
The strange thing about this is, as I was coming in today, I saw Paddy Mcdonnell with a load of young fellas.
Say no more. Finally, they got him.
I saw Paddy Mcdonnell in the petrol station with about 9 fellas, all under the age of 17, 18. And next now, all of a sudden, the police have arrived.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I just think that this would. If I saw Paddy with a load of kids and the police, you'd just go, yeah. Like that is something.
That's very on.
That's something that happens.
That's on brand for Paddy, so it is what I would call
That's the
it.
next generation of NI comedians.
Oh, yeah, the next generation of wee
He's just
Paddies.
standing, where are you from?
Yeah.
Are you Catholic or Protestant?
Some things never change. The what was I going to say? The Andrew been gigging much recently?
I have. So basically,
You were in London at the weekend?
yes, but I'm actually. I tell you what's happening is, I got double booked for 2 shows. Mm-hmm. So basically, and I'm the one that's lost out on this time. So, for example, if you get booked for a show, anyway, this club I was working for, I won't name them, very good club, they overbooked the number of acts. So they've looked at the acts and gone, who is the easiest person to cancel here that has the least amount of travel? And it's me.
Yep.
So they've said, we are so sorry, it's an admin error. And I go, you know what, it's fine. I've done admin errors before. I've double booked myself.
Right.
It's a very easy thing to do.
Sure.
Do you want to do this gig? You forget to put it in your calendar. A week later, you get another gig for that date. Oh, that date's free. Next thing you know, 2 days before the gig, the first club contacts you and says, just checking everything's all right for Friday night. You're like, what the fuck?
Yes.
So that it happens. So it's part of the course. That happens maybe once, twice a year. So I have a weekend off.
This weekend?
This weekend off.
Wow.
It's my first weekend off since May.
Amazing.
Since May.
The hardest working man.
My first weekend off since May, not doing comedy, and I already am panicking about my boredom. But I'm not going to lie, I'm in a massive writing surge at the moment.
That's great. I would love to be in that.
I'm in this phase where I was at home there the other night, and I got in from work. I was out doing bits, and I got in at 5. And after, I can only write when my house is clean.
I'm like that too.
Are you like that as well?
Yeah, I don't like anything lying about or like
So I came home, had my dinner. I don't know if you guys are like this now, but I came home, had my dinner, mopped all the floors, did all the washing, kept the heat off as long as possible.
That is this day and age.
Yeah,
that's
swept the floors, mopped the floors, hoovered the stairs, went into the spare room, dusted, all that kind of stuff, and then I went, I am now ready to write.
You're free of because there's nothing in your head cluttering up.
There's no cluttering around me.
Yeah.
And I wrote, and I, honest to God, man, I came up with a couple of bits for a routine I have that I'm trying to extend, and I noticed that every time I write something, and I don't know if maybe you do this with music as well, Sean, but every time I write something and I start laughing to myself about it, it's not funny on stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's the opposite for me. If I'm laughing as I'm writing it, I'm like, yes, I've cracked something here.
So I'm writing this routine at the moment about doctors' receptionists, female doctor receptionists, how I think they're all Hitler's granddaughters.
Right.
Right? They're so nasty when you ring up.
Yeah.
They must be the granddaughter of Adolf Hitler. That's the idea. That's the premise, right?
Yeah.
And basically, I wrote that and I thought, oh my God, this is hilarious. And then I woke up this morning and I went, no, you're not in the same.
Work. You're not in the same mindset. Yeah,
sometimes the same mindset as
sometimes you have to be. It's funny for a joke to like take off. You have to put yourself in a certain place of mind, and then you might be writing it in that place of mind, and then you go to perform it for the first time, and you're not in that place of mind, and it dies on its whole. And it might not be a bad joke, but because you haven't mentally like just coordinated things, it just hasn't worked out for whatever reason. So don't give up on it. Maybe it'll be,
I wrote this joke. And I put it up online a week ago. I did a little video, and I just was sitting home one day.
DUP joke.
The DUP joke, right? This is the joke, right? And I did it on stage, and I'll tell you how it went.
Okay.
So I wrote this joke, and the joke was this. I said, obviously, the gas prices and all that was in the news. Yeah. So I said, basically, did you hear the news recently that the DUP's gas and electric is 90% cheaper than those in the nationalist community? Why? Because the nationalist community live in the 21st century, and the unionist community live in the 1960s.
Great. There's more police cars, which is great. So they've got Paddy.
Paddy has been arrested.
Paddy, we can confirm Paddy is in custody right now. He will be.
He's under Section 4, public causing alarm or distress.
That's exactly called the
Well, I know he's always like the wee.
Oh, jeez. So how'd the joke go down then?
I then went on stage and I did that joke. And then, look, I probably could rewrite it a little bit. And it actually, the punchline didn't land as much, but the idea got a round of applause.
Yes, I understand that. Yeah.
So the joke wasn't funny, but the premise and what the joke was about was, oh, that's very clever, but it wasn't very funny.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking for that.
No, I can't. It's okay. Right. No, the people like it. It's all good. That's good. Sean, you have a tattoo there. I have not noticed you had a tattoo ever. You must have always be wearing long sleeves around me.
I do.
Can we explain this?
I don't know. When I was like, coming out of school, thought I was quite smart.
Yeah.
I was like big into my physics and stuff. Realized I'm not as smart.
This is a great setup for a tattoo. So, most people are like, my uncle died when he was 4, and so I had to get this. You're literally like, I enjoyed physics in school.
Yeah, so it's like, you know what? I'll get planets and shit.
And shit.
I'm just in my head, I'm breaking up physics and chemistry. I'm trying to figure out which one is which.
Yeah. It's all the same. But what I admire is for some reason you've decided to keep all the universe contained in a little band. Yeah. Like I would have thought you would have let it go a little bit,
I like Paulo Dybala's, the footballers.
The football. Oh,
so he
right.
played for Juventus.
I was going to say West Ham.
He plays for Roma now.
Right.
But quite an attractive guy, has this like these like
Sean,
2 black bands.
Are those police cops for you out there?
And I was like, I want that, but I want to do it like that. It's not just all black. I want something a bit more creative.
And so here we are. Now, is that your only tattoo?
No, I've got like
Don't tell me you've got what your brother has.
matching.
yeah.
He's got a dagger. I've got a sword.
Yeah.
Can I ask you why Mickey Bartlett has a tattoo as well in the exact same position?
His is the Karate Kid Braille, isn't it?
The Karate Kid Braille.
I think so.
Yes, he
The
was
band
he was
or
on
something?
the podcast and he showed it to me. What is it about Belfast people that get it
Around
between the wrist and the elbow?
Yeah, it's quite a positional
Quite a weird-
choice.
Is that because there's less pain there?
There's because it's a band going the whole way around, the pain like changes as it goes around. So like here where it's all like a bit more muscly, like is fine. But
aye.
see when it gets to like there, the bone, it's like that fucking killed, and that's like pure black. So you had to just back and forward.
How much did that cost you?
It's like
$6,000
no, it's like 160 quid or something.
years ago.
And how many times did you have to go in?
Just once. It was like 3 hours or something.
That's not bad. Yeah.
So he's working for what? 160 quid. So the tattoo artist as well. What's he on? 50 quid an hour.
I love- I-
5-6 years ago.
£53 an hour.
Andrew loves to break down all the finances of any job or anything that he can get his hands on.
I'm
I sort of-
self-employed.
Yeah.
I have to manage my money. I pay into a private pension. I need to manage it.
Andrew Goldblatt here.
I did the same thing ever since I had an issue of Match magazine in like 2005 when David Beckham went to LA Galaxy, and it broke down like
His
'cause he was
finances?
he was the most expensive, like the highest paid player ever, on the wages he was getting at LA Galaxy, and it told you how much like he was getting every second. You know that they were
Oh, they do it with Floyd Mayweather as well whenever he fights in the ring. So he's like 32 minutes and he's making like 100 million for the fight, and they break down like how much that is a minute. It's crazy.
Roy Keane, someone broke down Roy Keane's salary. Roy Keane from Cork, obviously. When he signed his big contract with Man United, he was on, what was he on? £1.12p a minute?
Wow.
Or something like that, when you actually, like 90 grand a week.
Or maybe
over
that was
7
like
days.
how
Wow.
much Vodafone was charged them to call home from fucking South Korea.
Oh, yeah.
I was in
Exactly,
South
yeah.
Korea.
Well, yeah, when the
I
World
can't
Cup.
remember anything.
Yeah, the Second Civil War in Ireland. Do you remember the Second Civil War? We had
I-
War of Independence, and then we had a Civil War, and
Yeah.
now we had the Second Civil War when Mick McCarthy and Roy Keane fell out in 2002 at Saipan. Something of which I still think about.
You know what?
Yeah.
See
I
that-
actually still think about that.
see
you know?
that-
I imagine it would.
See the citizenship test we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
I actually think that would be you have to like explain both sides. Of
But
the
I
argument.
think what you have to explain is you have to explain Eamon De Valera, Michael Collins,
Yep.
Mick McCarthy,
Yep.
and Roy Keane.
Yep. The Four Beatles. The original.
The
aren't they?
four
That's what they
Beatles.
were. Yeah, I love
And
their stuff.
Michael Collins shot in the back.
Yes.
Roy Keane stabbed in the back, both from Cork.
Was Roy Keane stabbed in the back?
No, he wasn't. He was shafted.
Oh,
it's a
sorry.
figure of speech, Aaron.
being poetic.
Look, in Cork, you never know. They could fucking stab
We
and
all know
have
how
him.
poetic you are with your words. Camilla's a wrinkly fucking... I'm not saying
Guys,
that's got some attention.
you're welcome.
500,000
You're
in
well.
total, I think. It was about 500,000 in total. Your clip went viral.
I don't know. Maybe it's 300,000. So I'm not.
Well, I've
checking
had
whatever.
nearly 100,000.
Wow. Oh, really?
think-
On yours?
No, I think the last time I looked, it was 60. So
The,
probably up to about maybe 80 now.
I say a billion. The thing is,
Doesn't matter though, does it?
yeah. Oh, it makes. This I was thinking about it. Going viral 10 years ago meant so much more than doing it today. Everyone goes viral. Like fucking. I see girls on TikTok post like a video of them just applying makeup, and they're not even like saying anything in it. They're just like mundane, boring shit. And it's getting like 500 million views, and you're like, what does a view even mean anymore? It's so fucking. But I'm glad that people did watch it and did enjoy it and got a good kick out of it. Funny that we did leave that day. I remember thinking, was that too much? And funny that's the clip that goes
We did
big.
think that it might have been a little bit.
But it just show.
But it's a comedy podcast, so we have a bit of a laugh in it.
Exactly. It's all fucking taking the and like even me putting it up, I was like, if someone from fucking BBC sees this or something, they might not be a fan of this. But then you just have to think as well. You just got to be true to yourself and be who you are and fucking let the people sort of
Frankie
enjoy
Boyle
it.
has said way worse, and he's on the BBC.
Yeah, there you go.
So there's no. I wouldn't worry about those type of things. I've had fucking death threats in the past and stuff like
From me.
From Aaron. Yeah. I'll probably get one off Paddy McDonnell after this.
Oh, I'm expecting many from him, fuck's sake. I'm supporting him I'm supporting him Friday at Portaferry. I'm supporting Paddy.
I was thinking. I remember supporting Paddy in the Limelight, man.
Yes.
The
I remember that.
crowd, man,
Was
they
what?
absolutely adore him, don't it?
It's
It's brilliant. Like I love seeing that. I love seeing when a comic walks out on stage and you can see people. I've seen it with like lots of comics over in the UK, but when they go out, there's people that have sorted their day, childcare, taxis, food, got dressed up, you know, met their friends, organised tickets, WhatsApp groups, meeting at certain points, all the logistics just to get your ass into a fucking seat.
Yeah.
Like just to get into a seat on a Friday or Saturday night to watch something for an hour and a half or whatever, and then when he came on, I had a really enjoyable gig, and then because I walked out thinking, Jesus, I don't know if they'll go for me now.
Yeah, it's always
it was so much fun.
Oh yeah. I did the Newcastle.
So funny, man. He's so funny.
Well, it was funny when you did that night. I was in the room next door supporting Rory Woods at his show, and so I was in next door, and Rory Woods is doing his gig, and it's like he's got a nice audience in too, and. You know, when you're Rory Wood's gig, you can just hear like silence, and then like traditional sort of gig, like good crowd, and then like laughter and whatever. It was just like a nice, cool, calm vibe. I was like, "Fuck it, I'll go next door see how Paddy's getting on." It's like it's like Woodstock '99. Basically, Paddy is like Flea, Red Hot Chili Peppers with his dick out, just fucking riling them up, and I'm like. Get me back.
Williams doing like the Fred Durst.
Williams on a fucking surfboard in the audience. And I was just like, get me the fuck out of here. I was like, I don't know how he's doing this. And that was the night, funny enough, that he had booked to do like a full hour show or whatever, and he just ended up doing crowd work the whole night. And it was like, he just couldn't fucking...
Yeah, his ability to actually do the crowd work and keep it going.
But
I went out and did 25 minutes of jokes.
Yeah.
Like I did a couple of my Belfast jokes, and I went out and I could genuinely feel like it was one of those gigs where you cannot step off. You cannot give the audience
a
2 seconds to come to you.
Yeah.
Totally. You have to just go straight at them,
full speed,
fifth gear.
Yeah,
and if they don't go for something, you're on to the next thing straight away.
Yeah.
You got to be short, and you got to be sharp, and you put all your experience into that gig.
I did support for him in Newcastle, and like as you were saying, Paddy's audience are like they love him, like, but they love him too much almost to a point where they think, like for example, me and Paddy are just in the green room in Newcastle. People just start walking in from like there's a door like blocking people getting into the green room. People just letting themselves in. All right, that was a great show. Like what? I'm like fucking. I'm looking at Paddy because I think Paddy must know them, and Paddy's looking at me going, Aaron must know them, and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck that is. Like, and then fucking people are coming in taking drinks from the fridge and all, like from our fucking our writer.
That's the most Belfast Northern Irish thing ever. Like,
and I was looking at Paddy like, this is the fucking most. I was like, how do we get these ones out of here? Like it was wild, and then fuck it. It was crazy. But only at Paddy's gig would they do stuff like that. You know, and then it was a lovely gig and stuff like that. Of course, it started a wee bit late because they were all at the bar, fucking trying to get that bar clear was insane.
Yeah,
it's funny when like ones that go to our Patrick's gigs like go to the likes of Limelight or something. It's not people who go to Limelight.
Never. Yeah, it's their first. They're looking around at like, fucking hell.
They're like, what do you want for a fucking paint? And they're like, Haverly Blue. What the fuck is this? Just give me a fucking paint a heart.
Yeah, they're like, I've never left the Felons. This is fucking wild. But the prices I'm sure are different as well than what they're paying in the old then they're in the West. Yeah, well, I think it's still like £2 a pint in the West in the PD. Shout out to the PD. I don't know why I'm giving a shout.
I really need to have a night out. The PD has been mentioned so many times in this podcast that I actually think I want to have a night out in the PD and film it.
There's I've been approached to organise a gig in it by the person who
is it. It's a West Belfast nationalist pub.
It's the PD stands for the Prisoner's Domain because it used to be all the money from it would go to the families who were in prison for the cause. Yeah,
the cause.
The cause, and we'll say no more about the cause. But the cause is good.
Not everybody survives their first night at the PD, like, and that's not in an aggressive.
So if I went to the PD, what would I expect? What is it like? What is it?
It's just a nice bar.
Honestly, people have this image of like, oh, I've heard about the PD. And see the PD, you could walk into it and no one would even turn their head at you. It is literally just a normal bar.
But it just had a reputation maybe in the 80s or something.
Oh, probably back in the day, yeah, it was probably fucking crazy. I don't know. But I can tell you, I have had Protestant friends step right in it without even any issue. No one gives a fuck. Like, anyone's welcome in it. Truly, I just think maybe back in the day it probably had a bad reputation, but today it's a beautiful pub. Like pool tables and fucking.
Yeah. It's all nice done up. There's a nice wee smoking area and all.
Oh yeah, but the money's went back into it.
Yeah.
The one in a prison.
a couple of years ago, there was a guy in my work. He was like a German gap year student,
Class.
and they do a thing over there, where they'll go to a different part of the world, either to the Balkans or South America.
Well, like an exchange program.
Sort of they will get hosted and stuff by someone most of the time. If
What
not,
happens not most of the time?
then it's like a Catholic organization, and they support them.
Fucking Catholic organization.
The Catholic money, I tell you. We don't know much. We'll
put
have
them up in an apartment or something. But there was a guy. He was doing his placement in our. They'll usually go to somewhere that's post-war, and a lot of them come here because of English speaking and stuff. I don't have to try and learn a new language. Well, English is a new language for them, but it's easier for them than trying to learn Serbian or fucking
Irish.
Irish.
Do you know where I really want to go when you talk about going over to those places is Belgrade, Serbia. Belgrade's in Serbia.
Go to a Red Star match.
Yeah, I'd love to go to a Red Star Belgrade football match. And apparently Belgrade, this is how I know it, when my mum was in a hospice, her doctor was from Belgrade, lovely fella. He actually came to one of my shows afterwards because we were in the hospice for 3 months. My mum, God rest her, and he said to me, Andrew, he said, if you're ever going to go away for a weekend or you're going to go away for 3 or 4 days, he said, I highly recommend you go to Belgrade. And I was like, oh, it's not something I would have ever thought of. He went, no. He said, go to Belgrade.
Right.
And I went, all right, brilliant. He said, Belgrade and Beirut. He said, Beirut is the Ibiza of the Middle East. It's supposed to be brilliant, Beirut.
Yeah.
So Belgrade and Beirut I'm going to go to both of those places next year. And I've made
That'd be great.
this year I said I would go to New York. I went to New York. Next year I want to go to Belgrade and Beirut. And if anyone wants to come with me, I'd probably be going on my own. And if anyone wants to come with me,
it'd be the first 2 episodes of you and Holly Hamilton's travel show.
Me and Holly Hamilton's travel. Have you ever gone on holiday on your own? I did.
I was booked to, and then my cousins jumped on with me, at the last minute. I was booked to go to Orlando on my own, and then they were like, oh, we'll just come too. And I was like, all right, fair enough. But I don't think so. I've definitely traveled on my own. For work, I've went to Denver on my own. I'm going to Philadelphia next week on my own.
But you're working though.
Yeah.
But you're with a group of people in the day, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So but you're not on your own. I've done it twice on my own.
I tell you what, I have no issue doing things on my own. I would happily, if I really want to go somewhere and there was no one wanting to go with me, I'd just go on my own.
Really?
Oh,
go to 100%.
100%. I have, yeah.
I've got to cinema. I've stopped going to cinema since 2017. 17.
That makes it sound like a conspiracy theory when you say it like that.
I don't go to cinema anymore.
Why is that?
Just people. Just people around you. I can't watch a film and someone chewing. People making noise with rappers and talking and phone gets up and all that.
I turned into a proper dad a couple of months ago.
Can't do it.
I went to see Elvis.
And, yeah, sure.
How is he?
And it's doing great. That
was great. I love that.
Here. But no, there was.
You flustered him so much. He's like, no, you dick.
Why am I a dick? I went to see Elvis. It's a comedy podcast, and I said, "How is he?" It's a comedy. I know. See, Sean's not a comedian. No. So it's different when Sean is not. Obviously, if I was a comedian, I would be like, "How is he?" He's not so bad, actually. He's still on the cheeseburgers. But anyway,
I just love the Sean. No, I'm just being a dick.
Go on.
There was a group of teenagers behind us, in a row right behind us, and the whole way through the film, giggling and laughing every word, and I done the exact same thing, going to films.
You're just I'm done. You're checking out.
And no, I'm saying when I was a teenager, I would have been doing the same.
Oh,
thing,
you would have been the talker.
Yeah, being a menace.
What a bold boy! I was never that kid.
And so I was going just let it go, but then they were just being such fucking cocks, and I just stood up and in my biggest, deepest West Belfast voice and just went, would you ever fuck up? And like everybody was just like,
Yeah, they were all shook up.
amazing. You were facing there the whole time.
I had been dying to say that since the start of this bit. I generally, my body was trembling to try and get it out.
You're sitting there going, that's a comic's head. There's a joke in here. I'm waiting for him to finish talking. It's like, the last time I went to the cinema, there was people talking.
In 2017.
They were talking. Do
you remember the movie?
No, I can't remember. I went with one of my ex-girlfriends, Spanish one, fucking playing on. I was always tired between 12 and 3. Good time to break up with them though, because I don't have enough energy to fight back.
Gee, that's good.
So,
very good.
Anyway, I can't cope with those sort of social situations. But I'm totally fine on a plane, being around people on a plane. I think I have some sort of, I'd say it's just some sort of high functioning anxiety that I have. But
yeah,
the 2 times I went on holiday on my own, so I'll tell you a mad one. This is a mad fucking one now. I was kind of dating with this, kind of hanging out with this girl for a bit. Nothing serious and all of that. But you ever like hang out with somebody, and it could be a man or a woman or whatever, and you look at them and you kind of go on a few dates with them and you kind of go, I just don't trust you.
Yeah.
Just don't trust them.
You had a bad vibe.
Just a bad vibe.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. I tell you what happened. She was out one night with her friends. She sent me a load of pictures of them, on a fucking bar or a restaurant. And I was like, oh, that's great. Have a great night. Get home safe. I just being polite kind of thing. A couple of days later, she's on a night out again. She goes, oh, I'm going out with girls again. I was like, oh, brilliant. Excellent. Where are you heading to? Oh, we're going to whatever bar. And I was like, okay, cool. And then said, enjoy yourself, blah, blah, blah. And I just got this feeling something wasn't right. And I just said, oh, send us some pics with you and the girls, hope you're having a good night. And then radio silence for the rest of the night.
Oh, boy. And
then I was meeting her in a bar somewhere, and I walked in, and I arrived 20 minutes early, and she was sitting at the bar next to 2 guys, and within her face just kind of looked at me. Oh. And I went, oh, she's a fucking, that's it, we're done. Just got the vibe, right? But I had booked to go to Mallorca for 4 days with her. It's kind of one of those things. Let's go away for 4 days and see if we get on.
Yeah.
So I just cancelled it. But obviously it was too late to cancel, so I decided to go on my own.
Brilliant.
So I flew that morning.
Brilliant.
From, where did I fly from? From London to Gatwick. No, sorry, from London.
That's a short flight. That is.
I flew from Gatwick
yeah.
to Mallorca, landed in Mallorca, got a taxi from the airport. I was a fucking 4 or 5 star hotel. It was about
love it.
Maybe £180 a night.
Love it.
So for 4 nights. So we're looking at best part of £1,000, right?
Yeah.
So I arrive in the hotel, I check in, put my bag on the bed, and all of a sudden I just start feeling a bit like, oh, I don't really want to be here. But Man United were playing Man City. So I went down to this local bar and I found this pub, and I went in and I drank 3 pints, watched Man United lose, went back to the hotel, bought a flight that night for £220 back into Gatwick. Went straight to the airport, just walked past reception with my bag, didn't check out, had it all paid in advance, got on the plane, and I was home at 2 a.m. So I went to Mallorca.
Oh my God.
To watch United lose to City. I spent, including my flights and travel, I probably spent the best part of £1,400.
That's the fucking best thing ever. Oh my God.
So the following morning, I woke up and I just felt really.
You woke up the next morning, looked at flights to Mallorca, and went back again. I'll give it an go.
No, Aaron, you're not actually far off.
Oh, fuck off! Don't.
Do you know what I did? So I got home that night when I was living in St Albans in Hertfordshire, and I must have got in at like 2 a.m. or 2:30 in the morning or something like that, and I was just sitting in bed going, "What the fuck have I done?"
Mallorca was a no. We'll try Lanzarote.
No. Fucking hell. So do you know this is probably the most oversharing thing I've ever put on the podcast.
Right.
But I just wanted to be with my mum. My mum she wasn't ill at the time. So I booked a flight at 7:30 from Stansted to Cork for about 80 quid. And I stayed up and I got a taxi at 5 a.m. from my house in St Albans to Stansted, which is about 80 quid. Now, I ain't rich. What decisions I was making. I just put on a credit card, right? So I flew to Cork, got to Cork for like 10 a.m, no sleep.
Jesus Christ.
Got in, had breakfast with my mom, and she was like, "What were you up to the weekend?" And I went, "Oh, not much really." Like, just like, you know, like. But so I didn't tell her. Went to bed, got up at around 3 o'clock, watched the 4 o'clock Sunday football match on Sky Sports, just sitting at home chilling with my mom, and I'm just thinking to myself, have I had an episode? Like, if I had some sort of episode,
It sounds
where I
episode.
have flown to Mallorca, had a couple of pints, and just went flown home. Now I've flown to Cork, and I'm sitting with my mum. Had about 2 or 3 days with my mum, and then I just told my mum. I
Make a great
told her what
short
happened,
film.
and then she just looked at me. She went, "Andrew, what the hell has gone on with you?" I went, "I don't know. Like, all I know is that I went to Spain to watch the football match and spent nearly $2,000,
That's quite bizarre.
and that's all because some girl I just didn't trust."
Meanwhile,
So I don't know how fucked up this is.
So Aaron said-
how fucked up. If you've had a story like that and you've gone on holiday on your own, or you've gone
believe me.
without a partner or whatever, and it's been mental, tell me.
no
Messages.
one has a story like that. I can assure you right
Really?
now. You should go straight to Purdysburn.
Go straight to what?
Purdysburn. How do you say the mental asylum?
Purdy'sburn.
That one.
No. That was many years ago, and I remember I did have a word with myself afterwards.
Well, yes. You should have.
That's
How do
all-
you have a word with yourself, by the way? Isn't that?
Andrew.
Do you look in the mirror?
No, I just say to myself, Andrew, that those decisions that you're making are not healthy.
No.
It was I lost about £1,800. I would say in total.
Aaron's sitting there so smug, and he's like, "That's why I don't date women."
Well, you said I did mention.
Yes.
Because I don't.
No, I mean, like, don't go out with them.
Oh, look, I'm a date. Like, thing with me is, I don't really date, do I? No, I don't really date.
You're not arsed. I think I would love to get a psychologist's report as to why you don't date women.
Oh, right. I want to get one to why you're booking flights to go watch a Man City match. Never mind.
But listen, I wouldn't normally say that stuff on a podcast.
But
that's good.
You just want to be with your
No,
mum,
you
like,
should
that is
share.
nice.
I think
no, but
it's
I was
good.
feeling like
Sometimes you need
I
that.
know. I think what it was I was just feeling I was making bad decisions.
Yeah.
In my life, I was like, I'm this guy. You know, I have a good job. I love my work.
Yeah.
I was doing okay for myself, and I said, "Oh, I met this girl." I was like, "Oh, let's just hang out." And then I was just like, "Oh, it's not really for me." And then I said, "Well, I'm not going to waste this holiday." And as soon as I went on the holiday, I went, "I don't have the skills to cope with this on my own for 4 days."
So then you've went on holiday a second time, though, on your own.
But I went to Cork. Oh, I went on my holiday second time.
I was going to say,
No.
is that where you had? It's not really a holiday,
Oh,
Andrew.
no. So can I just continue this as well?
Yes.
A year later, I decided I wanted to conquer that fear of going on my own.
Right, okay.
So I went to Budapest on my own.
Lovely. Right. So then.
I went to Budapest on my own, 2 nights. I flew in. I booked a nice hotel. It was like 200 quid a night, which is fucking, Budapest is quite cheap. But I got it overlooking the River Danube, and I was like, this is great. First night I went out. I went for walks, did some touristy things. Went to the pub with a book. I drank 3 pints in the pub.
Where
on
Man
my
City
own.
play.
Nobody was playing.
I like to think that has to be the stipulation for you holiday on your own. Man City have to be playing United.
And then I got back to the hotel, and first thing I did when I went back to the hotel, I went, I need to find a gig.
Book a flight to Cork to see your man. You're like, I need to fucking get home.
So I found an open spot gig the
wow.
following night in Budapest.
Wow.
Spent all day doing the touristy things, had a great time, went and did the gig, and went out afterwards with people from the gig.
Great.
See,
I had a
that's-
great time.
See?
That's a brilliant thing with comedy that has a big advantage over music. You know, the ability to just go anywhere and all you're bringing is you.
Yeah,
know
you
what I
don't
mean?
have to bring guitar,
Like,
piano.
I swear to God, see us trying to go on tour. It's like, it's a nightmare. Just the amount of
Yeah.
equipment involved, hair,
Parking.
yeah,
Yeah, music
it's
is a
insane. Like,
logistical faff, isn't it? Like,
yeah. And there's solo artists there. They only have to bring one guitar or a
Ed
fucking
Sheeran.
laptop. Yeah,
You should do an
Ed
Ed Sheeran
Sheeran's
tribute
dick.
act, I think.
I know. I've been told I'm
In the West. In the
You should
West,
do
that
Ed
would go
Sheeran.
down well.
What would you call yourself? Paddy Sheeran?
body.
Oh, what would you call himself?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
And that's
Eddie Sheeran. Eddie Sheeran. Eddie
I-
Sheeran.
Listen, I can get you big gigs, kid. I think if we get
Get
this
you a
act
big
going,
gig.
I get you.
Big
Make
gig.
you a star, kid.
Yeah.
Stop. I take 85%, but I make you a star.
But no, it is brilliant with comedy that like you could just go wherever and like
Oh, yeah. To be fair, I haven't really gigged much abroad at all. I think I've did.
Well, I'm organising a European tour next year
I'll go.
with Ger Staunton. Sorry.
Alright.
Come along if you
No,
want.
no, it's alright.
You're both welcome.
No, it's alright.
I've actually arranged
No,
it at the
it's
moment.
fine.
So.
No, it's okay.
But
Jer's
the
going.
best thing about gigging abroad, I've done Brussels. My favourite city in Europe at the moment was Berlin. It still kind of is, but it's now Ghent, which is like half an hour away from Brussels.
Right.
Beautiful city in Belgium. I've gigged in Belgium, Germany, Hamburg, Berlin, they're in Germany, Brussels, Ghent, Vienna, Bratislava. I swear to God.
Dubai, you've done Dubai.
Done Dubai, Qatar, Bahrain.
Yeah.
It is Denmark. Going abroad as a comedian is the best buzz. So I'll give you an example. You get booked to do 2 nights in Brussels.
Yeah.
Normally those gigs are midweek. So Tuesday, Wednesday. They fly you out. They pay your hotel.
Yeah.
And you're getting a wage. I go like, this is great. I always try and get the like 10 a.m, 11 a.m. flight. So I have the day there.
Okay.
After the gig, you're with other comedians. You're with other like-minded comedians. They don't have a massive circuit out there. So what happens is after the gig, these people are buzzing to be doing shows. So you'd have a beer with them.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're having a night out. You wake up the following day. You got time to yourself. Chill out. You know, maybe meet another comedian from Belgium to go for lunch with. They might want to ask you questions. You might want to ask them questions about getting some contacts. You kind of do that. Oh, where else is good to gig around Belgium that I could go over and all that? Next thing you know, you turn up at the next gig. The comedians are there again. You're having a laugh. You're having a joke. You do your job. You maybe chat to the audience. You know, it's brilliant fun. You fly home and you just feel so amazing.
Yeah.
And you come home. I've had a great time. I've been looked after. I've done a job I love. And I've made money.
Yep.
Unreal.
This is the best. The highs totally outweigh the lows. And the lows are fucking low.
Yeah.
And I mean low.
Yeah. We've had some lows.
I mean, like, upsettingly low.
Yeah.
What's your worst gig? I'm going to ask you about your worst. Sorry, Baron, you're hosting.
No. It's okay. We're
I'll ask you
all
about your worst music
we're all
gig.
one and the same here. I did one in Cookstown this weekend that wasn't great. Like,
Was it not?
No, and what happened was, this is the most recent worst gig I've had, to be fair. It was, the bar layout was really not ideal for stand-up. By the way, I'll just start this by saying the guy who runs the gig and organises it all, loveliest fella. Like, couldn't have been nicer, couldn't have been more accommodating, was perfect. Like, great guy, shout out to him. But yeah, it was, the crowd were just, I went on last. Now, I wasn't meant to go on last, but the headliner decided he wanted to go on first, and so I had to go on last.
Gee,
Interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm going to Google the lineup recently.
Oh, it was Kieran Bartlett. And I've already took the piss out of him for it many times, so he knows but yeah, so I had to go. So by the time I went on, they were just like, we've already seen the headliner, we're good
done.
here. Yeah, and they talked the whole way through the fucking set, and it's not even like heckles or whatever like that. It's literally just background chat. And at one point I just went, do you guys just want me just to leave here? Like, I don't mind. And then they all were like, oh, okay, we'll be quiet. And I was like, all right, maybe I've got them back on my side here. And as soon as I start into my next bit, they just think it's permission to talk again. They just talk. And I was just like, so I literally just went, all right, have a good night. But didn't even do a closing bit. Just went, I'm done. Just walked off.
Save your dignity, man. And the fact that you can read the room as well is important.
Yeah, and also it's like,
Don't fight it.
Yeah, plus I was already getting fucking shafted. So like, why would I stay up to, if I was getting paid a headline like fee and I was meant to be the headliner, would have stayed up no problem. But because like it got switched out last minute, I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I guess this isn't my fucking bed to die on, like, you know.
Oh, man.
So yeah, that was pretty grim at the weekend, but it happens. Like, you have to. And what was funny was I did Whelan's. I did support for Seán on the Monday, and it was it was probably the fucking gig of the year. Like, oh my god, that fucking the crowd and everything I was doing was getting the biggest hit. Like, I was like, oh, why can't they all be like this?
That's the Irish. That's the Southern Irish. That's the real.
Fucking yes, it is. Yes,
real deal.
Fucking right, it is. Cookstown. Learn a thing or two.
What about you, Sean?
Easy. There was a lot of years ago, like, there was like very little, like a very small sort of representation for like original music, you know, in the city. Like, there wasn't many gigs going on. So when I was about 18, 19, me and a load of like other bands like put together like this week collective to put gigs on for each other, and we were just, rather than you were going to like venues and bars and stuff, and they were like just ripping the whole load of things. If you were going on your own, you know, they were saying like, oh, it's 450 quid for the hire, and then we take 50% or whatever. The things it was way, but because we were young, because there wasn't anything else, they knew they could do that. So we approached it and made up this like fake, like promotions company, and contacted them. And then when you were contacting them under just a different name, like a different Gmail account, they were going like, yes, sweet, like you can have the room for nothing, you know.
Same with wedding venues, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And like for conferences and all, and like, but so we had put a couple of these nights on, and we booked one in this bar on the Dublin Road.
Can you say the name?
Well, at the time it didn't have a name. That's what the thing was.
Was it called the place with no name?
The
That
bar
bar?
with no name.
The bar with no name. Yeah. What's it called now?
So it's now called the Points.
The Points. Yes, so the Points.
So
Do you know the Points?
No. Yeah,
it's like it like designs itself to be like the most Irish
but
bar,
it was never
possible.
that. You know,
it wasn't that
makes
beforehand.
It makes it look like it's been like no Cali Cellars, like it's been here for generations.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
It was like a wee hipstery venue before that.
Yeah, that's right.
But different management and stuff now, like different owners. But this is a good couple of years ago, and we put the show on in there, and like one of the things we tried to do was, you know, the opening act for these nights, play like 3 songs or something, would be like a young band, you know, like wasn't 18 yet, because like we were only like all like 19, 20 like ourselves anyway,
right,
you know?
right.
So like but we would put on like a band that was like 16, 17, because
The Jackson 5.
yeah, because there was nowhere for like, you know, if you're under 18, because you couldn't play in the bars and stuff like that, there was nowhere to play. So we would try and like give people a chance, like one slot for each show, and just sneak them in at the start. Nobody'd say nothing. The venues would be sweet about it. But so we put this like punk band on at the very start, and I was doing everything. I was running the door, doing the sound.
Oh wow!
And then we were playing as well later on in
That's
the
a
sound. And then this band got up on stage, and like the bouncers came in and saw how young they were, and we're like, we need to check our IDs. Why they were playing?
Oh wow!
Like,
That must have been good mid song.
and you wouldn't know like, but up here there's a real anti like police like chant. It goes SSRUC.
What's that? Oh, the SS is in like the...
Like, yeah.
Oh, right.
So they say like SSRUC, comparing like the RUC, now the PSNI, the like,
SS,
the
Hitler's
SS.
army, innit?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a chant, but now it's in my arsenal. It's in my back pocket.
So,
I'll be using it every night.
So
now.
instead of playing their next song, and instead of showing their IDs to like the bouncers, they just started chanting SSRUC, and the whole bar started doing it.
Great.
And so that band got pulled off the stage
Wow. By the bouncers.
by the bouncers. Like, so messy. We just had to play the music, and everybody's going, what the fuck?
What do you do in a situation? Do you play like background music or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just smooth jazz.
One more time, gonna dance supreme. Meanwhile, fucking boys getting trailed out by
Then all their mates who went to see them started getting chucked out, and they're asking for their music back, or their money back. So I'm having to issue refunds and try and sort out like with the bouncers, because they're complaining at me for letting them play. Then
Well, you did let underage kids into
yeah.
a bar, Sean. Let's not
fair enough.
let's not lose oversight of that. The Mcdonnell way.
So we saw the brother earlier as well. The brother was at it earlier.
Then the next band goes up, and they were all like, they were.
Oh, so the night
That
continued.
continues.
They went on. We were like,
I
fucking
love
keep
that.
going.
I love one band down. All right,
And
next.
next band went on.
They were overage. They had to be back at the old person's home.
Yeah, they were like, average age was like 22, 23, right?
Right.
So they were a bit older than us, but their drummer didn't have his ID out with him,
So he got done because
so
he
he
didn't
got
have
chucked out. So they had to do it like
no, just acoustic, no
just
drums.
with no drummer.
Class.
That was another thing. Then our like guitarist's mate, like said a joke or something, like slagged the bouncer for
That's-
all the carry on.
You don't want to do that.
And they were already hyped up, and like, I'm not saying anything about certain places, but like certain places have like
No, do.
paramilitary connections with their bouncers and stuff. You know what I mean? So like there was a joke
Yes.
said
What's a
about that.
paramilitary?
Same here. What's a connection? I don't even
I
know.
understand it. I don't get
I
it.
have
So-
no idea.
I was looking the other way.
So native, we joke about that, and he got swiftly chucked out.
Paramilitary desk. Yep.
And our guitarist was like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And like, he got chucked out too. So
Right.
we're a guitarist down, and we're like meant to go on.
It's just you a cappella. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And
I've come to talk.
and we were like, "Fuck, we need to get him back in." So our drummer went down the fire escape and like I says, "Just let him in the back, you know, they'll not know." And but instead of just letting him in, he let in every single person who had just been kicked out.
Jesus
They all
Christ.
came up a fire escape, and so then that turned into chaos. Like,
Is this the new plot to Ocean's 11? This sounds
They
fucking...
called in other bouncers from other bars to chuck everybody back out.
Other bars.
Go. We've got a
Hello.
couple of 17-year-olds.
Yeah. Is this the PD?
everybody's-
Send your best men. We've got
Paddy, your friends are here.
a rogue drummer. He's 16. The could tell.
The bar manager was furious, like, you know, coming down asking for the money for the show. Like, they still asked us that there was a certain amount, it was like £200 or something for hire of the room, and I was like, mate, look, you know, I had to give everybody back a refunds. I don't have 200 quid to give you.
Yeah.
And
You should said if I had £1 for every person you threw out, then I'd have
room was
I'd have
full,
twice
too.
the money to give you.
and not everybody asked for a refund, like, so
No.
I had it about like 300 quid.
You went away with £8,000.
And
Again, the Mcdonnell way.
I was like, look, mate, I can give you what I have left here. And he's like, well, what do you have? And I was like, 40 quid. And I give him that, and then like went and paid the bands all like 60 quid each or something.
Fair. But you looked after the artist there.
Yeah.
That's
the key. That's
fucking
the key.
Yeah.
legend.
You
Good man,
looked
Sean.
after the artist, and that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, it all.
The
No, it
artist
didn't fucking go here. And nobody got a show. And then I'm pocketing 260 quid.
Ah, sure.
I
The-
had go on.
oh no, sorry.
I
Go
had
ahead.
probably the best gig of the year last weekend.
We're at
London.
London. Worst
I had the
store.
best and the worst in the same night.
It's fun. Yeah, same.
Same night.
Well, last week, same. I had the best and the worst
Same
last
night,
week.
in
Yeah.
the same night.
Fuck, that's
so
funny.
One gig in London that I do regularly. It's a brilliant show. I go on. The compere goes on. Lovely guy. And as he goes on, he's about 2 minutes in, setting up the gig, and someone shouts, "When are the jokes going to start?" So the compere, I must say, dealt with it so well. And the person who was shouting at him was from Latvia. And he said to them, like, "Oh, you know, in Britain, you know, we kind of keep our anger inside." You know, he was doing it really well. And I was sitting backstage going, "Oh, this is fine. Like, he's dealt with it and it's not a problem." I go on, I start, I'm about a minute in, that group is still talking. So I do 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and it's getting to the point now where it's an issue in the room. It's a small room, so it's an issue in the room.
Hate that.
So I stopped the gig and I went, "Excuse me, sorry, do you mind? Just stop talking if you don't mind, you know. Thank you so much." So I keep going. Another 5-6 minutes later, starts again, keeps going again. And I said, "Look, I'm not going to slam them or anything. I'm doing a set. I'm not hosting." The gig was going well, but I could see people were not focused on the show. So I stopped again and goes, guys, please, like, come on, just chill, okay? I've only got 10 minutes left, so just chill out. Thank you. And I keep going. And then, got to understand, I can only see the first 2 rows because of the lights.
Yeah.
So I don't exactly know what these people look like. So I just look again and I just see this person talking and I'm thinking it's the same person. So I went, "Excuse me, like, really, how many times?" I've already checked out. I've checked out of the gig. I'm like, "Get me off. I'm fucking done with this."
Yeah.
And there was tension in the room and it was, the heckler was quite nasty. But the person that was talking was saying, "Oh, it's not me." She goes, "Oh, sorry, I know I'm talking now, but I'm talking because of the person behind me talking." Do you see what I mean? So now there's this fucking fuck up situation. So I just went, "Oh, well, are you English?" She was like, "Yes." "Oh, you're English." "Well, sorry, you grassed yourself up. Don't worry about it."
You're alright, you're English.
Yeah, all right,
You're
don't
not
worry.
one of them friggin' four.
No, but I wasn't like that at all.
Foreigner hater.
I was trying to say, "Oh, you're English. You're being so polite by grassing yourself up." Like, that's my point.
Yeah.
So I finished the gig. I walk off early.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Anyway, I finished the gig and I'm backstage and I'm chatting away to the next thing the manager comes in. He goes, "Andrew, I think you should just leave this way." And I went, "What the fuck have I done?"
Fuck.
She goes, "Basically, the people from Latvia, they've been spoken to and they're being kicked out." And I was like, "Right," because people around them are complaining. I was like, "Okay, that's fine." But the person that you said the third time, can you just stop talking? Who was talking but isn't the part of the Latvian group is upset that she feels now that she's ruined the night. I'm like, fuck off. I said, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Like, the end of the day, if that woman's upset because I've asked her not to talk, when then she shouldn't have been talking.
Correct.
I never wasn't harsh with her. I said, do you mind please stop talking?
Yeah.
The compares told you to stop talking.
Yeah.
People have been told off for talking, and now you're continuing. Now you're talking, and now you're upset that you've been asked to not talk.
Yeah.
Don't come here if you don't want to watch the show.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yep.
Anyway, I turn up at the next gig, and I walk into the next gig, and I'm like, right. I said, is there anyone talking in this gig?
Fucking hell. All silent.
Is there anyone talking? Because if they're talking, I'm in talking fucking fighting mode.
Me in the cinema would just ever fucking.
The bouncer comes in, the ID's Ryan on stage.
Anyway,
Ryan
I
Andrew.
walk up on stage, and it was like one of the best shows. But you
Yeah.
know what? This happens, and the club that I do it in, there's a great club. I do it for years.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it's the first time anything like that's ever happened.
Look, you get anomalies. You get instances where it just you do get a rare crowd or whatever that it does happen on, and fucking it is what it is. You just gotta sort of you get off it.
Do you guys ever do a set just in autopilot?
Oh,
I've ad-libbed it. I ad-libbed 45 minutes once.
Just like
Oh, I thought you meant like in terms of autopilot, like you're literally just
that's
going
what I
through
mean.
the material.
Is
You're
it
not
like-
you're not even thinking about the
it, You're
room.
thinking about like what way United's going to line up for the next match.
That's called phoning it in. So what I tend to do, if I do sometimes it can happen at certain gigs where you go like, with your gig the other night, or if you're playing to it's different with music. I suppose there's noise over it. We don't, and if they're talking, you go, well, at least they're looking the right way.
Yeah.
But with comedy, it's like we need you looking the right way.
Yeah.
And we need you listening.
Yeah.
What I do is if I ever have to do a gig where I phone it in because I'm just dying, I pick 3 sight lines in the room, and I just come out and I go. And then he walked into the shop, and then it was like this: "Are you absolutely mental?" I just do that, and I just do it over their heads.
Oh,
I just look at the top of their heads, and I just bang it out, and I say, I don't even look at them.
that's an interesting little. I'll
go in,
take that.
and
advice.
I just do it as a rehearsal.
Yeah.
Just be like, I could be saying stuff like, I just don't know why I'm not in a, I can't like get married or anything like that because I don't have any kids. I mean, I just don't understand it. And some of you may have kids, and you just do it, and it's like, if you're not interested, I'm just going to perform.
Yeah, because you're getting paid either way.
Paid.
But that's it. I must take that because that's happened to me before, and you do sort of are like a deer in headlights, thinking where do I look? But that's a fair little tip.
Yeah.
You're off this weekend.
I'm off this weekend.
What will you do this weekend? We'll end on this. Are we at time? I don't
We'll
know.
finish up now. Yeah.
We'll finish up on this. What are you going to do this weekend?
What am I going to do this
off?
weekend? So Thursday, I'm doing Pug Uglies.
We are doing
We're
Pug
doing
Uglies.
Pug Uglies for the first time ever.
Exciting.
Very
yeah.
excited to be doing that. So I'll wake up Friday, a new man.
Yeah.
Nervous but excited about what a Friday has without any gigs.
Sure.
I actually am looking forward because I'm like, I'm not going to.
Why not?
Because I'm going to London to film a show for Comedy Central.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have 3 days off before that. So this is what I'm either going to do. I'm going to write, maybe do some work around the house, a few bits and bobs.
Of course.
And then I'm going to just be like,
Anxious?
No, I won't be anxious, but I'm going to go to my cousins and sit in their kitchen.
That's a good move to do.
I said to them, they've kids, so they're always at home.
Yeah.
So I'll just arrive.
Yeah, that's the way to do
I'll
it.
sit in the kitchen and watch telly with them.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I'll probably come home and do
A bit of
no, I don't play computer games.
no.
And I'll just probably have the radio on and
Love it.
iron clothes.
Fantastic.
So I don't know what I'm going to do the weekend. I'm just going to be me, really.
Just be here. That's all you can be in this
Which
day
is
and age.
not good.
No. You'll book a flight to Mallorca and then come back the same night. The Sean, what will you do this weekend? What's your plans?
I think I've got a show Friday night.
Do you want to plug it? Is it pluggable
No,
show or
it's
is it a
not- it's
private
not
thing?
One of them ones. I do have a tour to plug though.
Oh, yeah, what
from
is it?
today.
What's your tour to plug?
So we're going on tour in November and February here. We've got
Brilliant.
dates in Derry, Limerick, Dublin and Cork in November.
Where are you
And
playing in
then
Cork?
Spalpeen Fanacht.
Lovely venue.
Yeah.
I'll send my mates to it.
Yeah.
They've got kids, they won't go.
Send the kids. I mean, at his gigs, they're all right, apparently. He'll get them in.
So we're organising, can I just say this as well, as I sent you a message, we're organising a Christmas night out for the pods. So
Amazing.
there might be a night out for Mudblood,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cork in the North, at Christmas. Might try and get maybe few of the comics have a bit. Is there a comedians' night out at Christmas in the north?
There used to be, and then with COVID, we haven't had one the last 2 years. But I have heard chatter that we're going to do something, all the NI comedians. And what we used to do is we used to actually book a gig around it and then go out. But I think for once we're just going to have the night out.
Just meet in one pub and
just fuck it. Oh, I think we might be able to. We have somewhere that we might be able to get for ourselves. I'll say it all for her.
So yeah, there might be like a big night out for the comedians.
Right.
But I think there should be a night out for the podcast.
Sure.
And if there's anybody who lives in Belfast and likes the podcast, and they want to come out and have a couple of pints with us, we'll put it out. Just pop in, say hello, bring your friends. I'll be there. Aaron will pop out.
I'll do my Camilla's wrinkly doot bit live in person if you want.
This night out is just strictly for us to get more material for the podcast.
Yeah, and we're gonna go out. Maybe Paddy might come through the Mudblood guys, and it won't be the comedians night. It might be a little bit of a podcast night for the studio here.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants to come in and join us for a drink, just come in.
In here?
No, in town.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were when you said here. I was like, are we all gonna get pissed in this studio? I mean, I don't drink, so I wouldn't get pissed anyway. But regardless, yes, that sounds like a fun time.
What's the name of your band again, Sean?
Search Party.
Search Party. Yeah. Check them out on Spotify. Very good.
I mean, yeah, try Googling that one.
I know, it's fine.
Search Party.
Picture of Madeline McCann comes up.
No, hey,
right?
No, that's staying in. That's staying in. We're not editing that out. That's terrible. I would never say something so bad in my life. That's all good. Listen, we'll find her. What am I doing this weekend? I am supporting Paddy Mcdonnell on Friday in Portaferry. I'm also gigging with you in Pugs on Thursday. And then Kieran Bartlett's doing the Ulster Hall on Saturday. That's sold out. I think I'm going to nip down and just check that out.
I actually might go.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. I might go down to the Ulster Hall.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the podcast for this week, guys. Thanks very much for watching, listening, all the rest of it. Subscribe. There's a Patreon. Get on it. Extra bonus content. Andrew films with guests every week. We've got people on YouTube complaining that I'm on this too much, and that's funny. That's funny. I enjoy. Whoever that is, keep commenting on because it makes me laugh.
It actually helps the algorithm. The more you slag us off, the better views we get.
And the more I'm here.
We don't care.
Yeah.
If you don't want to listen to us, Aaron is my co-host and I will choose.
Yes.
He's kindly asked and I'm delighted to have him.
Delighted to be here.
People love him.
Delighted people. Well,
and if you want extra episodes with different guests, you pay for them.
Yep.
They're interview style ones.
Yep.
So they're on Patreon. They're £1 an episode, 3 a month. So you want me to work for free?
Oh, there we go. And we're going to start doing Patreon where I just do an hour on the royal family every week. And believe me, people want to see that content. Everybody, have a good week, good weekend. This has been Cork in the North. See you next time. Slán go fóill.